Women will tell you that they're not influenced by a man. They are to some degree, no matter what. I'm not saying in every single way, but they are.
Yeah.
And women have seen plenty of men talk about how they're weak and they need to man up, basically. That sounds ridiculous, but
a lot of it is the ignorance because they don't even understand that, like that comment you said of, oh, you just want to stay home and you don't want to have to work. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's the man. That's the she's not a bro. You can make a commune of all dudes, and you just pool each other's money together. And if one guy's not working hard enough, you kick him out, or beat him up, or whatever it is. And you can just you can
bro out.
Yeah, you can
have
do that.
A bromance, right.
But you can't look at women that way because you're missing that value because it's like she's a piece of art.
Which I've already told women what to do, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't do the things or any of those things. Let me preference all this stuff. But one thing that men do need to do, regardless of anything, is learn how to appreciate the femininity for what it really is. Right. Not have the man goggles on and viewing a woman as trying to fit her into the man standards. Truly appreciating femininity,
right,
and outwardly showing that. I'm not saying comment on something that you wouldn't normally comment on just to be promoting this stuff, but if you see some sort of content like our content,
right,
and it's talking about this, and you leave a comment, if you're like, yeah, I agree with that, I didn't understand that, I was maybe looking at it at a different, say those things, right, because women are paying attention to that. Mm-hmm, and women will tell you that they're not influenced by a man. They are to some degree, no matter what. I'm not saying in every single way, but they are.
Yeah.
And women have seen plenty of men talk about how they're weak and they need to man up, basically. That sounds ridiculous, but, or that they're dependent like a child. Yeah. And, me, myself, I've had somebody tell me oh, you just want to stay home because you don't want to work. Men perpetuating things like that pushes a woman further from her femininity. And yes, it is women's responsibility to still be in her feminine and to find that power in being soft and vulnerable and feminine. That is true. But the more that men are demonizing or trying to put down femininity, they will never get the feminine women. It'll be harder. Like I said, it's still on women to be that, regardless of how men are acting. But men really need to be champions of femininity rather than tearing it down.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I think a lot of it is the ignorance because they don't even understand that, like that comment you said of, oh, you just want to stay home and you don't want to have to work. Mm-hmm. It's it's the man. That's the she's not a bro. You're not. You didn't make a business partnership. You know what I mean? That's not the deal. It's not you're just 50-50 equal. You're getting the wrong viewpoint. Because as a man, I'm oh, well, if I add one more resource to my household, then we'll have double the income. And then we can, you know what I mean? But we only have to have one house. So we have 50% of the same expenses, but double the income. That's smart, right? It's from a strategic standpoint, but she's not a resource to be used. It's you know what I'm saying? Guys are thinking of it that way. It's well, I'm tough and I can handle these things. And then if she's tough and she can handle things as well, then together we're this huge shield. You know what I mean? We're a shield wall.
Right.
It's no, you're the shield wall yourself. So that's why guys are thinking this way. Because they're thinking from a man, a strategic, this makes us stronger when we're both making money and we're both stronger. It makes sense from a logical standpoint, but what they don't understand is it just makes you bros. You might as well just have a fraternity and then you can all pool each other. You can make a commune of all dudes and you just pool each other's money together. And if one guy's not working hard enough, you kick him out or, beat him up or whatever it is, and you can just, you can
bro out.
Yeah, you can
have
do that.
A bromance.
Make a syndicate or whatever. But my point is that the weakness that you're missing in that is the feminine part of things, which is valuable and prized. And that's what, I think we were talking about in the other episode is about the a piece of art.
Right.
And you're well, what does it do for me?
Yeah.
And it's
does it make me money?
It looks beautiful in your living room.
Can it carry my groceries into the house?
You can't, that's why, what does she bring to the table? Again, these are not questions. These are not things that men are willfully doing because they're trying to be jerks. They just are ignorant, a lot of men, because they're looking at it completely through this masculine lens of the world, which is good for them. Right. But you can't look at women that way because you're missing that value, because it's like she's a piece of art. You know, even this morning, one of the guys, you know who I'm talking about, that I mentor, that he was complaining because you were in the podcast episode we did on Josh's podcast, that you were more centered and I was more to the side behind. And I was like, look, he's like, you should be the center and she should be to the side. And I was like, look,
it's giving Anthony Johnson, like, lean in. You lean.
I was like, look, my woman, you know, okay.
My woman.
She's going to be in the front, in the, you know, and I'm going to give her the good seat, okay?
Which he does do seat, every single time.
And I'm going to, like, make her, you know, let her present, you know, well and look good for everybody, okay? And I'm going to take a side to the, like, that's because I'm a gentleman. And that's how gentlemen treat a lady.
That's right.
Right. And so, and the only person who needs to know that I'm the man is her, and she knows it. I don't need to show it to the rest of the world. I don't need to be like, look at me, I'm the man and she's the woman there.
Right.
She will show that to the world. I don't need to prove it to the world. I only need to show it to her. If she believes that I'm the man, I don't care what other people think about that. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
They don't get it. So. But I will say, as a woman, it's getting kind of old to say that it's just ignorance, because there's plenty of stuff out there now. There's this whole episode. Yeah. And so, and the thing is, I think some men too are ignorant. You're right. Some are stubborn and they don't want to adapt to what we're saying, even though they know it's true.
Right.
But like we've been talking about, like, you're going to end up just being unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to accept the reality of things. If you're trying to always put a woman into men's standards, you're going to have a very masculine woman. And then you're going to be like, well, why aren't you feminine? You made her this way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, you've talked about that, you know, women are the garden and and men water the garden.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting her in a masculine garden. Like, she's in a masculine garden. You can't expect to have feminine flowers in a masculine garden.
And that's the thing that I just don't understand, because you're right about that. Is it's like, but guys don't understand it. They don't understand what feminine is. Women don't even understand what feminine is for the most part.
It is confusing.
It's like, that's why this is so important, our gospel that we're preaching. Because, you know, because the thing is that when you don't understand it, then it's like, okay, I want a woman that stays home and takes care of has kids and, you know, all these things. But then it's like, but that same woman has the attributes of not having a job.
Right.
It's like
or she's going to work, and then you expect her to come home and do all the normal things.
And she's going to be emotional. And she's going to be, because those things go. So it's like, if you pick one, I'm okay, right? If you're like, look, I want a woman. There's no such thing as masculine and feminine. We're all equal. Like, it's all a social construct. And so a woman should do 50% of the share of everything. She's just, you know, she shouldn't be exempt because she's a woman. So whatever. Yeah, maybe she has some physical differences, but financially she can do the same. She should be able to handle the same mental toughness, that stuff. And so that's what I want. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to argue with you. If you think that that's fine and you're good with that, then I don't think it's the best way, but sure. At least from an idealistic standpoint, I don't say that you're an idiot, right? Or if you say the other way, if you're like, okay, I want to be the man and I want her to be the woman and I'm going to be the masculine, I'll take care of all the bills and she stays home and she, you know, I take care of her and I protect her. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is when you try to combine the two. You want this from this buffet over here, and then you want to go over. It's like bringing your Subway sandwich into a 5-star restaurant. Like, you can't do that. You can eat at Subway, or you can eat at the Michelin restaurant. You don't get to take the Subway sandwich and eat it over here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to pick which one you want.